California's Gold is produced in association with KCET Los Angeles and is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association.
Discover the center of Southern California fun, Anaheim and Orange County. For up-to-the-minute insider getaway tips, go to AnaheimOC.org. It's so California.
Warm sunshine, swaying palm trees, and breathtaking ocean views make Orange County the OC, a relaxing vacation destination that is always in season. 42 miles of inviting beaches are right next door to world-class shopping and internationally renowned art festivals. Close by are championship golf courses and two of California's famous attractions, the Disneyland Resort and Knott's Berry Farm. Log on to visittheoc.com today. Learn why in the OC, it's forever summer.
Well, good morning, everybody. Here we are. It's a beautiful, overcast, but soon to be sunny, beautiful day here in one of my favorite places anywhere in the entire state of California. We're right here on the coast, Southern California, right in the middle of downtown Laguna Beach. And we're going to be spending the whole day here in Laguna Beach in search of California's gold. And to start our search, we've come to one of my favorite places anywhere in Laguna, and we're meeting up with one of my true old friends. John, introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm John Bedrero from the Orange Inn.
All right, the Orange Inn. Now, you and I have known each other for 26 years. We first met 26 years ago when I did a program on the original Orange Inn. And talk a little bit about that.
Well, Huell, I was the fourth owner of the Orange Inn, and you came out, I think, in about '82. I bought the Orange Inn in 1971, and we had a great day out there. It was wide open fields, and it's all been developed. As of now, we moved here in '86.
Yeah, now the Orange Inn, when I first saw it, was right out on the side of Pacific Coast Highway.
Just south of Newport Beach.
Yeah, right on, out in the middle of, actually in the middle of nowhere.
It was the only thing out there.
And it really had a great old feel to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a special era.
From the 30s.
Yes, sir.
That was an old wooden house out there, really.
That's what it was.
All right, so you got moved away from there. That's gone now. That building was torn down. There's a big development there now.
Yeah, it is.
But you've moved right down to the middle of town here in Laguna Beach, and the Orange Inn tradition continues. And what is that tradition?
The tradition is great food, fresh baked items, and fresh cooked turkeys, chicken, everything's fresh. And
yeah, but wait a minute, you're being too modest, because what is it I'm drinking right here? This is the original.
The original Orange Inn smoothie, of course, and the date shake and the fresh squeezed orange juice are our trademark signature items.
And do you think that the Orange Inn smoothie and the Orange Inn date shake could have been some of the earliest smoothies and date shakes anywhere in California?
Absolutely. Home of the original smoothie.
Are you sure of that?
Absolutely.
Was that just a marketing ploy?
No way. No way, Huell. You know that. Nobody was making them back then.
All right. Well, we're starting off our morning here with my smoothie. Inside, you've got some great photographs and that beautiful old painting of the original Orange Inn. Now, we're going to be spending the whole day here in Laguna. This is a place that kind of thrives on tradition, isn't it?
Absolutely. And having the same customers we've had for 36 years for me.
Yeah.
Even beyond, before I had the Orange Inn, people still come in.
You're old school.
Yes, sir.
Now, is Laguna Beach old school? For those who've never been here, how would you describe what kind of a day we're going to have today?
You're going to have a wonderful day. Laguna Beach is a very special place.
What makes it special?
Just the configuration of the town, the way the highway wraps around the town and the beach comes right up to the highway, and you can walk anywhere here in Laguna Beach.
What about the people who live here and the atmosphere of the place?
It's wonderful. I've been here my whole life and I'll never leave, and I hear from everybody all over the world that this is where they want to be.
Yeah.
So we're very happy to be here.
Well, I'm sorry I don't live here, but visiting here is the next best thing.
Absolutely.
And starting off the day with an original orange gin smoothie, it doesn't get any better than this. I give it about, what, about an hour, 2 hours for the...
Yeah, this should break up by 11 o'clock, and we're going to have a nice day. It's probably breaking up on top of the hill already, and we'll have blue skies and cool weather, and it's going to be beautiful.
Another beautiful day in paradise. It doesn't get any better than this. We're looking for gold in Laguna Beach. Now this is exciting. We pulled up in front of the Laguna Art Museum where we're going to spend some time. I was very impressed at this welcoming committee out here to greet me, but it turns out you all didn't even know we were coming here today, did you?
No.
You're here to greet who?
A school bus load of children, 60 kids, and we're going to give them a tour around the galleries and talk about the different paintings and discuss art and get their little brains thinking a little bit.
All right. So you're not here to greet me, but
No.
that's okay. It's nice to meet you all. It's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Save up your energy for the school kids. Now, you are here to meet me, aren't you?
I am here to meet
Your
you.
name is?
Janet Blake.
Okay, and you're going to give me a tour
Right.
of the Laguna Art Museum because
Yes.
this place is really part of the history of Laguna, isn't
Absolutely. Very, very historic.
it? Been here since?
Well, this building, the core of the building, was built in 1928, opened in February 29.
Wow.
And it was built by the Laguna Beach Art Association, which was founded here in 1918.
Because Laguna Beach has always been known as an arts community.
Correct.
Big
And it-
on the arts here.
Absolutely. And it was because of the artists that came here in the early 20th century that it became an art colony and then led to it always being an arts community.
See, there was a reason why
That's
we
right.
came here.
That's right.
All right, let's go inside. Goodbye, ladies. They're getting ready to greet the kids. Good luck. We're going inside. Okay, we're starting our tour of Laguna Art Museum here on the second floor. Now, up here is your permanent collection of early Laguna artists who obviously loved to paint Laguna scenes. This
Right.
says Laguna right here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What are
and
we
in
looking
fact,
at?
this is by Edgar Payne, who was a very critically important person to the art colony in Laguna Beach because he was the first president of the Art Association.
So this whole thing started, and look, here's another one. Now I know that's looking down at Laguna almost from this vantage point up here.
Right, probably from right at the top of the hill of Pacific Coast Highway. And that's by Clarence Hinkle, who's one of our native-born artists. He was born in Auburn, California in 1880. And he was active with the Art Association. He painted this in 1929.
Now, why did all these artists come to Laguna? Why here?
Well, essentially, many of them just came to Southern California to start with because of the, the lure of the landscape, they call it, and the climate, the atmosphere, and the variety of landscape that they could see, plus the ocean. And then once they were in Southern California, some of the artists started discovering Laguna Beach. In fact, we do have a record of a couple artists who came out here as early as 1897. They didn't stay, but one major artist did buy a lot in Arch Beach in 1903 and built a little cottage there.
Wow.
And then it sort of word of mouth spread, and then more came and more came.
So early on, the word got out that this was not only a great place to live because of the climate and the
That's
whole
right.
feel of the place,
Yeah.
but it was a welcoming place for artists.
Right, absolutely. And in fact, when the city of Laguna Beach developed its government, they actually put into their charter that they were going to focus on the arts in Laguna.
From
that
the earliest days?
Yes, they weren't going to, for instance, set up a boardwalk and a pier and a Ferris wheel. They were going to concentrate on arts.
There is so much to see in here, but you have a whole little exhibit area permanently on exhibit to honor this artist right here.
Right. That's Joseph Kleitsch. And Joseph Kleitsch, who was born in Hungary in 1882, emigrated to the United States, then to Chicago, and then eventually to Southern California, moving to Laguna in 1920. And he was primarily a portrait artist, but like other artists, once they got in Southern California, they were attracted by the landscape. And he fell in love with this little community and was actually quoted in the newspapers as saying that he wanted to paint as much of the community as he could because he knew the real estate developers were coming in and it would rapidly change.
So he wanted to capture the community.
Right.
And this is Laguna Beach in the early 1920s.
Correct.
It's hard to believe.
Yes. Now, this is called the old post office. And the reason it's called that is because actually what he's done is he's taken a profile view of the general store. And the general store in town is where people went to get their mail.
This was downtown Laguna Beach in the 1920s.
Correct.
People forget, and here it is again, this is the 1927. People forget how rural Laguna Beach was for so many years.
Right, right. I mean, Pacific Coast Highway wasn't even a paved road.
Okay, as we prepare to say goodbye, we're tying it all together, Janet, because you have brought us down to the room that was the original Laguna Art Association's gallery back in 1929.
Right. This gallery and the skylight that you can see above your head was built and opened in February 1929 by the Laguna Beach Art Association.
This is where you have your rotating exhibits.
Right.
This is where the school kids are today.
Right, exactly.
And this is where people who, when they visit Laguna, can come and see the rotating exhibits, and they can also see the exhibits we saw today, the permanent exhibits of those early and very influential Laguna artists.
Right, our founders, so to speak.
All right, thank you very much. We've had an absolutely wonderful day. There is so much to see here. This is a very colorful room, a very colorful exhibit, but you never know what you're going to see in Laguna Beach.
That's right. We change our exhibitions 3 times a year.
And the
except for the permanent collection.
The energy of the art here is what the art has changed over the years, but the energy of the art and the artists who live and work here has remained constant.
Exactly, absolutely. You just look at the number of galleries in town. It's a very, very active arts community.
Okay, as our Laguna Beach adventure continues, we've now left downtown Laguna Beach. We've come a couple of miles out of town right here on Laguna Canyon Road. I'm standing here with John Cunningham, and John, looks to me like we're standing in front of a big old red barn.
That's exactly what it is, Huell. Yeah, that we moved in here in 1976. This was part of the SPCA, and that's all that was standing here was this barn. Had lofts up above and stalls below, and it's all been transformed.
It's been transformed into the, according to the sign, and right here on the side of your truck, the Pacific Marine Mammal Center, Laguna Beach. And what's that all about?
Well, we rescue seals, sea lions, occasional dolphins, and not very often whales.
Really?
We don't get, we've had calls on them, but...
so it's mainly seals and sea lions from what, all up and down the coast?
All of Orange County. From Seal Beach down to San Onofre.
And what is this, a non-profit? You put together an organization here?
Yeah, totally non-profit. We've been in existence since 1971.
Well, let's walk into your, because this is the entranceway that the visitors to the Mammal Center would take. Now, what's the deal? People call you? You've got a hotline? How do people know to get the mammals here?
Well, we have all the programs up and down the coast, animal control people, the harbor departments, police departments, they all know to call us.
Citizens who see?
Citizens, yes. We have a really good outreach program, educational programs in our our number's in the phone book, and so they know to call us.
And this looks like you've got it set up for visitors to come and see this place for themselves.
Oh, absolutely. This was a project done by a student putting together all these whale bones that we received as a gift from the Marine Corps.
Wow. And here, over here, here's one of our docents. Helen, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
What's your job here at the Mammal Center?
Well, I'm a meter greeter.
A what?
A meter and greeter.
A meter and greeter.
Right.
Well, I've been met and I've been greeted.
Right.
You're doing
and we're
your
glad
job
you're here.
well. And what kind of questions do people ask when they come here?
They ask about the animals, what kind of animals we have, what's the difference, what are their physical characteristics, why are they here, what was wrong with them, where were they found.
Oh my gosh. You got to have a lot of answers to a lot of questions.
I try.
But it's got to be fun for you and rewarding
a lot of fun.
for
It's
you.
very rewarding. And it's most rewarding when they go back in the ocean when they're well.
Yeah.
For the release.
And are most of the visitors here school kids or adults or
both? And a lot of people from out of town.
Just come in and
They just come in, absolutely.
they're met and grat by you and
Yes, mostly.
and then they take the tour. And we're going to take the tour right here. We're taking the VIP tour. Introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Michelle Hunter. I'm the Director of Operations and Animal Care here at Pacific
So
Marine
you're
Mammal Center.
around these little seals.
6 days a week.
You've gotten very up close and personal
Oh, yes,
with them.
very much so.
Because we're going to get to do something very special with you. Usually when people come, you keep them on this side of the fence, don't you, Helen?
Yes, we keep them on this side of the fence because these animals are wild and they bite.
Well, they're
So-
supposed to be wild.
Yes.
But you keep the people back.
Yes,
but we are going to get to go on this side of the
Yeah,
fence.
so you get the special tour today.
And see the seals and the sea lions up close and personal.
You
and
bet.
if we get bit, I got a real good lawyer.
We're not going to let you get bit. Don't you worry.
All right, here we go on the other side of the fence. Okay, here we go. And look at this. Look at these little seals.
These are little Pacific Harbor seals. They're about 5 months old, and they've all come in with different stories. Most of them came in really underweight after they got naturally weaned from their mothers. We have one in here that was covered with tar. This one right here in the middle, see this guy?
This one right here in the middle
was covered,
was
about 80%
covered with tar.
body was covered in tar, and we had to give him this hot oil bath to remove the tar. It took about 3 of those hot oil baths.
Boy, you were tempted to reach down and
and
touch
he would
him.
be tempted to bite your finger.
Would he really?
Oh, yeah. He's probably looking for a fish about now.
Because he doesn't look wild.
No.
He looks so friendly. And when they look at you, look over here at the eyes.
Don't they have beautiful faces?
Oh, they really do.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
This is our fattest little guy here. He's 72 pounds. He came in at 25 pounds.
Now, he's not going to jump out there on us, is he?
Oh, I don't think so.
Wow. Now, how long will they stay here?
They typically stay here about 3 to 4 months. Harbor seals, we get them in so young, I want to get a little extra padding on them, so they have a little weight if they go out and they don't eat right away.
But if they stay here, don't they get spoiled? And
They do get a little spoiled, but
then you got to put them out in the wild, and they have to fend for themselves.
they have really keen instincts. We don't hand feed these animals. We also introduce live fish to them to make sure that they're chasing after live fish before we release them. And we did that test last week, and they all chased them and caught them all.
Kyle's got lunch, right, Kyle?
That's right.
Come on,
Breakfast.
this is going to be exciting. Now, do they know that they're getting ready to be fed?
They sure do. Look at them.
Oh, yeah.
They know what's coming.
But now, wait a minute. You said they weren't hand-fed.
They're not. Kyle's just going to throw the fish in. If you want to do that, we feed them herring. It's high in fat.
Oh, they have to go
They have to go find it and dive for it on their own. And we keep a close eye to make sure that everyone's eating. So Kyle, just throw a little bit more over here to this one. And just make sure that they're all eating.
So that's what you're looking for, to make sure. Well, look at this one over here. He's just sitting off to the side. Look over here.
Let's see who this is.
What's the matter with this one?
Some of these animals have been a little finicky lately, and all these guys ate really good at breakfast time. This is their second feed of the day, so he might just be a little full. The herring is pretty high in fat, so Maybe
he's getting ready to go in.
Maybe he's just a little camera shy. You never know.
Come on. Come on. No, he had a big breakfast.
So we'll make a note of that on the animals chart that he didn't eat the second feeding.
Oh, so you keep a real tight...
We have feeding charts, and every animal has a medical chart while they're here, and we keep those charts for 15 years.
They're cute little things, aren't they?
They certainly are cute little things.
And they're sociable.
They're very sociable. They're very social animals.
Do they, I mean, are they hamming it up for us now?
A little bit, I think. I love when they sit like that in the bottom of the pool.
They're squinting their eyes. They're taking a nap.
Yep. They just had their meal, and they're just taking a little snooze and just hanging out in their pool. Wouldn't that be nice to do all day? Eat a little bit, take a little rest, go for a swim. That's what I call the life.
The seal is coming. Oh boy, oh boy, look at that. Oh boy, now these are hungry seals over here. Oh boy, they're really eating with relish.
I'm going to board these two back in this area here and see if...
You're going to do what?
I'm going to use this little board here and give them a little tap to get in the pool. There we go.
Oh boy, we got a full contingent in there now.
Yes, we're going to see if they'll eat.
Now these all look healthy to me.
They are pretty healthy. They're at pretty good body weight. This pen will probably be the first ones to be released, and we're looking at releasing them in a few weeks.
So this must be a big deal when you release them.
It's a huge deal. It's wonderful. It's the most rewarding thing about this job.
We've met up with the vet and one of his patients. Your name, sir, is?
I'm Dr. Richard Evans.
Okay, you're looking at one of your patients here, and what was wrong with... Now, this is a big seal.
We name him Joker. He's an adult male California sea lion.
Uh-huh.
And he's not as big as he can get by any stretch of the imagination.
Why is he here?
Well, if you look closely, you can see over here he has a scar going all the way up the side of his face. What happened, he had a gill net caught around his upper jaw and the top of his head.
So he was caught in a gill net.
So it pretty much scissored its way through part of his lip.
Well, how long will he have to stay here?
Well, the wound is pretty much healed up. We have to now get him beefed up a little bit, get some more weight on him, and make sure that we knock down the little inflammation he has in his mouth.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're okay.
You'll be ready to go back to the ocean?
Yes, sir.
And what are all these others doing here? Look at the size.
These are our favorites.
Look at this.
We love them.
Oh my gosh, what kind of...
These are northern elephant seals.
Oh wow, and boy, they're curious too, aren't they?
They are.
Say hello. Yeah. Oh, you can touch them?
Well, no, you really can't. You got to be careful with that. You can stay this side of the wire, but they have a lot of big teeth. These guys have a funny, unusual situation. They're only nursed for about a month, a little less than a month. Then mama leaves them, and they fast themselves for 2 months while they learn how to hunt for fish.
Uh-huh.
And then they go out to the real cool world. This year, that didn't quite happen well. Most of them were small when they were born, probably, and they didn't get enough milk, et cetera, so they came in.
They're here because they're malnourished.
Yes.
They're underweight.
They're malnourished and underweight, so they beach themselves on the beach. So we brought them here, we're feeding them up.
And then you'll turn them loose.
And you can see how beautiful they look.
And you're over here next to two that are, these are prime examples of what's wrong with...
Yeah, you can see how thin they are compared to these guys in this pen. See how underweight, you can see the ribs here and all that, and it's tiny. They're not beefed up like those guys. They've lost a lot of weight. So we're feeding them 4 times a day.
So you just fatten them up.
We fatten them up. When they first come in, though, we hydrate them by doing tube feedings. So we make up a fish milkshake for them because they're not able to digest when they haven't been eaten in a while. So we tube feed them and get them up to a thick formula, and then start introducing whole fish to their diet and get them diving.
You want to touch them. This is why you don't let people back here,
that is why we don't let people back here.
Because I've got to tell you, when you're standing this close to them, you just want to reach over. When you look at these eyes.
They've got beautiful, deep eyes, don't they?
Yeah, and they're looking right at you. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. Look at those eyes.
These guys will hunt for fish up to 1,000, 2,000 feet down.
They'll go 2,000 feet down looking for fish. Oh my gosh. Now how long before they're going to be released?
These guys will probably be here for another couple months with us.
And then they'll be back in the ocean?
They'll be back in the ocean. Second try, second chance of life.
Now this is kind of sad.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's a northern elephant seal, you can see. He's a youngster, though. He's not a big, roughy adult like that. And he's depleted in his weight. His weight's down, underweight. And he was dehydrated when he came in quite a bit. So last night we rehydrated him, and we took some blood from him. And
is he sick?
Well, this morning we got the results of the blood back, and he's got a mild to moderate grade inflammatory condition somewhere in his body. We haven't been able to figure that out at the moment.
Wow, so he'll just stay here.
Well, we're going to treat him for that particular thing and monitor him.
So he's like a real patient.
Oh yeah, he's a real patient.
I mean, he's sick. He's sick.
He's sick. And when you get sick, you're not in good mood.
Seals are tough, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're tough guys.
So do you think he's going to survive?
We have a pretty good record. Most of them do. The vast majority of them do.
If he wasn't here, would he survive?
Probably not. Because when they haul themselves out on the beach, that usually means that they realize they can't maintain themselves in the water anymore.
Yeah, and that's when you get them.
They can't swim, or they're too cold because they don't have enough thing, and that's when we get them. So usually when they go on the beach, that's kind of like we've pretty much had it.
Well, it must give you a wonderful feeling to see a sick seal like this and know that you're going to be responsible for helping to...
That's what we do here. We love doing it. It is a labor of love, and it's a heck of a satisfaction to be able to do this.
Okay, as our adventure continues, we're still right on Laguna Canyon Road, just a couple of miles from the Mammal Center where we spent so much time with those seals and sea lions. We've now come to the Nix Nature Center, which is a beautiful building, but look at this view from inside the Nature Center. And if you think that's a nice view, look over here at this view. This is absolutely spectacular looking out here. I'm standing with, your name is?
Laura Cohen.
And you're kind of the head person around here.
Yes, I am. I'm the resource specialist
for
Orange County Parks.
Tell us where we are, because is this an Orange County park?
This is an Orange County park. This is Laguna Coast Wilderness Park.
And it's a big park.
It's 7,000 acres. It's a beautiful park with more than 30 miles of trails for the county people and people from all over the world to enjoy.
And we're looking out here because this is very important to come here on this trip, because when most people, I guarantee, especially people from overseas or other parts of our country, when you say Laguna Beach, they think what?
Rocky cliffs with the ocean.
They think of beach.
Yes, the beach.
They don't think of this.
That's
and this is the back country, and this is another beautiful part of this part of California.
Yes, it's a miraculous area.
All right, now you have a lot of people coming here to what? They don't just stand here and look out. They actually go out and hike.
We have hikers, we have mountain bikers, we have equestrians, people coming with their horses and bringing them here to ride.
And when they come here, especially the hikers, the people who are visiting this back country for the first time, they come here to the Nature Center to kind of get their bearings and kind of find out what the history of the place is all about.
They find about the history, they find out about the biology, they learn the trails, because we have excellent volunteers here to help them, and ourselves to help them discover all the trails that are available for their hiking.
All the hidden wonders out here.
That's right.
All right, let's go. Well, wait a minute. What is this right here?
This is our fossil spa.
Spa? What do you mean?
It's not really a spa, but
a fossil spa.
This is where the young children can go to actually dig for fossils that would be found in this area.
Oh.
Actually, in some of the rocks, as you walk through the park, you can see fossils staring out at you.
I've never seen a fossil spa before.
Yeah. Well, here's one of our fossils. It would have been an oyster.
Oh, look at this.
And one of the interesting things is this land has been repeatedly inundated with the ocean, by the ocean. So a lot of the areas have fossils that are
I'm going to cover it back up. Oh, wait a minute, here's another one.
There, you got another one.
Oh, okay, so you dig around and you can find all kind of, here's another one.
There you go.
Oh.
And that's one of our turret snails.
Oh, wow,
And
so
the
this
children
really
like
is
to
an
dig through there and
adventure.
match them. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow, that's
Everything
great.
there is an adventure.
What a great idea. Let's go inside
Okay.
and take a look, because this is an absolutely spectacular building, the way it's set up. And I'm looking right over here. The first thing I see, what are we looking at here?
This is a wagon wheel that came from the late early 1800s. And it's to remind us of the past of California. First, we started with our Native American heritage, which is illustrated through this beautiful bronze work, through their creation story. The Ahashiman people lived in this area. And then we had the settlers move in, indicated by the wagon wheel. And then the cattlemen.
Oh, you've got it all
That's
here,
right.
don't
This
you?
is a beautiful design by a student from Laguna College of Art and Design in the canyon.
This is spectacular. And look over here. This is the really beautiful, spectacular, scenic view right here.
Yes, it is.
What are we looking at here?
This is a view from the Ahashiman times. It's the materials that they would have used from the earth developed into cultural artifacts. And Domingo Velardes, who is an Ahashiman man, he can recreate these artifacts.
So this is kind of the way it would. Is that an actual view that you can actually see on this height?
Well, it's not really on our trail system. We're hoping someday it will be, but it is a view from a cave in the park.
There are lots of caves in this park.
There are, because of the way the water's flowed through the rock, and it's left caves.
So
many
at
caves.
one time, all of this area was wet.
Yes. If you look and you kind of squint and ignore the plants, you can kind of see that sharks may have been swimming in and out of these hills.
Sharks?
Yes. The tooth over here on the window is actually of a giant shark called
That was
Megalodon
here.
that lived here in this canyon.
We've saved the best for the last. William is one of the volunteers. William, move into position and activate the bats. There they go. Now, what is the deal here?
Well, these bats are an artist's conception of the bats that live in the little sycamores that are behind us. This whole center is based on taking many points of view to view the resources here.
So this kind of gives an example to the kids of the bats that live in the trees.
That's right, and it actually sends out ultrasonic sounds, and that's what triggers the bats when we come by. The ultrasonic sounds bouncing off of us and then back into the sensor, which is how the bats work to gather their food.
So you've got this thing set up that if somebody steps right underneath here and makes a move, oh, look. Okay, now the bats have gotten very quiet.
Yes, it must be
William, let's test
daytime.
this thing.
They're going back to sleep.
Start it again. Start them
All
up
right.
again.
Come on. There they go.
Oh, there they go. I don't know. I think they want to sleep.
No. They do want to sleep. It's daytime, but we're going to wake them up. Come on now. There you go.
There they go.
Okay, we have left the Nix Nature Center, and look where we have come, out here in the back country. This is truly back country, and I'm getting well, actually I'm hiking with Barbara Norton, who's one of the senior park rangers for Orange County Parks. And Barbara, this is a beautiful part of Southern California, and this is a big park, isn't it?
It certainly is, Huell. We're almost up to 7,000 acres now with our last acquisition, and we are part of the almost 20,000 acre South Coast Wilderness, comprised of all different agencies and stakeholders.
There are two hikers. They just came by us. They're going up the trail here. We didn't do any heavy hiking today.
No,
we're just
definitely
on the edge of the park. The park goes way back into the canyon, doesn't it?
This is one of the portals into the park where the Nix Nature Center is located, and this is called Little Sycamore Canyon. It's about a little over a 1 mile climb up to the top of the ridge, and you get a magnificent view of the city of Irvine, Newport coast.
So this is a doable hiking situation.
Absolutely.
Lots of people come out here and use it.
Absolutely. Weekends we're quite busy here.
And there's something else very exciting about this, and this fella just happens to be standing over here out in the middle of the backcountry. Introduce yourself to everybody, Carl.
Hi, Carl Warkumski, Laguna Canyon Foundation.
Okay, and the foundation, of course, is critical to helping keep all of this as beautiful and as wonderful as it is. But you're excited about talking about this being a
hotspot of biodiversity.
A hotspot of biodiversity? I have no idea exactly what that means.
Well, if you were to take the globe and spread it out on a map, we have about 25 spots of global diversity that are of critical importance. One of the ones in North America happens to be the transverse floristic province of Southern California. We are at the center of that hotspot, this South Coast Wilderness Park. And so when we set aside 1 acre, 2 acres, we are really protecting an enormous number of species.
So the idea of a hotspot means that it's just filled with biodiversity, with animals, with plants, and why here? Why not somewhere else up or down the coast?
Well, a hotspot actually is defined with two components. One, the richness of species, but also the significant impact humanity brings on that ecosystem. So you have two components that define what a hotspot is. The reason we have so many species here is the unique number of microclimates that we have. We have coastal oak woodland. We have coastal sage scrub community, of which only 10% remaining in Southern California. We have marine habitat. We have native grasslands. When you combine all those together, and it's an enormous combination.
Wow, that is quite a compliment to what this park experience is all about. And this is right here in our own backyard here in Southern California.
You can literally see hundreds of species here just with an identified map and guidebook, and it's absolutely wonderful because you don't have to travel that far to see an enormous number of species.
Do you think most of us here, I've been living here a long time, and I didn't know this was so special.
It certainly is. It certainly is. And the County of Orange is just so honored to be able to steward this land, and it's my honor to get to steward it as a ranger here too. So.
Wow, and for people, they come here from all over the world. We can just come here on the weekends.
We take it for granted that this richness is here, but we have biologists and scientists that come from all over the planet just to see our diverse ecosystem.
Just to walk these trails in this backwoods area, backcountry area, although I guess there are trees here, there's everything here.
It's just another example of why this truly is the Golden State.
We're hiking out of the park, we're hiking out of Little Sycamore Canyon, and look, right here at the trail head, it's identified by a piece of it. It looks to me like, Carl, this is honest to goodness art here.
We have a wonderful art colony here in Laguna Beach, and we decided that they were going to be the most valuable resource to interpret the regional park. So we had Joan Irvine Smith and a couple other funders create this work of art along with a few others, and we put them at all the different staging areas so that it's a welcoming to the community.
Well, yeah, and also what's interesting about this is it ties the art community of Laguna Beach with the natural history part of Laguna Beach.
Absolutely, and it's an interpretive message, just gently reinforcing the rules and regulations of the park, but not just what the regulations are, but why the regulations are here.
Yeah, because look, this is why the regulations are here, to keep the park looking as beautiful as it is. Well, actually, stand out of the way, Carl. Let's take a look. Here's the art, and you look right up here, and here's reality. And boy, it is doing a good job, because art and reality complement each other in this situation. This is a beautiful place. Lunchtime, and when you have lunch in Laguna Beach, at last count, there were 65 restaurants to choose from. Everything from tacos to five-star gourmet dining. One of my favorite places to eat when I come to Laguna Beach, though, is up here on top of the hill at a place called Las Brisas that specializes in Mexican seafood. They also specialize in
drinks. Cheers!
Margaritas. And these ladies appreciate the ambiance, don't you, ladies?
We do.
Do you know what you've got here?
Absolutely, the ambiance.
Absolutely. This is Laguna Beach at its best. I could just stand here all day and soak all of this in. Okay, after having been in Laguna Beach for almost half a day, we are finally down on a beach itself. And I say a beach, Jeff, because there are many beaches when you come to Laguna Beach.
There's about 20 to 30 different coves or beaches when you're actually in the city of Laguna Beach.
And what's so, what kind of confuses people is that Main Beach is the main beach, but that's where all the tourists go and the visitors. But then there are beaches like this, and look at this. I've been coming to Laguna for years. I've never been to this little beach. What's the name of this beach?
This beach right here is called Shaw's Cove, and we got Twin Points over here to our right. And what's great about Laguna Beach, people always think of the numerous coves that you find, over 30 different coves. We can't have coves without the different rocky points, and so the rocky points jut out and they create these great little pocket beaches up and down the coast.
All right, now we're here not just to hang out and take in all this beauty. You are with, what's the name of your organization?
It's the Laguna Ocean Foundation. It's a nonprofit here in Laguna Beach.
Which cares about what?
We're here to conserve the marine environment and the coastal resources within the city limits.
And what does that mean?
What does that mean? Well, we're here to protect the tide pools and protect the ocean and the watersheds, make sure the water quality is good. And it's just a bunch of concerned citizens that's decided to do something.
Because I gotta tell you, just looking out at this looks spectacular.
Isn't
looks
it gorgeous?
It's in pretty good shape to me.
It is gorgeous. But there's a high group of people that come down here and want to be able to use this area. And so we just need to make sure that people are using it smartly and wisely.
Yeah, and and look, you've got on shoes. Look at him. I've got on my flip-flops here. See, I came dressed for the occasion.
Shoes today.
So
that was a good set that came through. I wasn't letting that one get me.
Okay, we are here. Boy, and it does kind of come up quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, the beaches in Laguna Beach often have a real sharp or steep beach angle, and because of that, you get real good shore break here in Laguna Beach at these coves.
Okay, we're here, and what's the name of this cove again?
This is Shaw's Cove.
Shaw's Cove.
It's a great diving site. Divers love this site. There's great diving along this bench, because on the other side of this bench is Twin Points, or the intertidal area of Shaw's Cove.
We got here at 1:30. It's about 1:45 right now because we heard it was low tide, and we want to go out and check out the tide pools.
Well, we're going to do our best. The tide today is about a 2.4, or positive 2.4, so it's not that low. It's not like a negative low tide where you can see all the critters, but these are some great tide pools. It's a great area, high topography. So yeah, let's check them out.
Let's go to the tide pool. You walk out on the dry part.
Okay.
See, I can walk here because I like the feel of the water coming in. This is part of what it's like to come to Laguna Beach, is to get out in the ocean and feel the water coming in. This is beautiful. Look at this. It's paradise. Now this is interesting. We have walked around to the tide pools.
So we've got our hairy hermit crab.
We're hooked up with, your name is?
Letty.
And you're the person I was looking for to give me the tide pool tour.
You are right.
Who is this guy right here?
Jonathan.
What are you doing here, Jonathan?
Well, I honestly just come to hang out in the tide pools. I spend some time praying and writing, but I basically just become a little kid again, you know?
Just here looking in the tide pools.
Oh, it's amazing.
So she looked like she knew what she was talking about?
I saw the badge. I've gotten yelled at before by someone who had a badge like that for walking upon the wrong rocks. So
well, you do have to know how to, act around the tide pools.
Exactly, and we're here to educate people as well as to protect the tide pools.
So I hope she answered your question.
Oh, she has. She's phenomenal.
I told you where you can walk and where you can't walk. Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
You know, what a great place to spend time. He's right on target here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's get over here and see where it is we were going. Because, now can I walk right through here?
You certainly can.
Now there's the beach where we just were, but I feel like I'm stepping on something here.
Well, just kind of guide your feet toward rock, and if you happen to step on some barnacles,
what are we looking
hardy.
at here? This is...
Okay. This is called rockweed.
Rockweed.
Rockweed grows directly into the rocks, its entire root system.
Do lots of people come out here to do what that young man was doing, just kind of explore and contemplate and meditate and soak all this in?
Some people come specifically to see the tide pools. Others who maybe have never seen the ocean just see a group of rocks and don't even realize the tide pool is there.
Yeah. Let's walk over here, because Laguna is actually known for its tide pools, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Why this place? Why are the tide pools so special here?
Well, there's 7.5 miles of coastline here in Laguna Beach, and much of it is a rocky terrain, and therefore it's just so plentiful with marine life and plants. It's absolutely pristine.
But you do have to know where to walk.
Yes, you
do.
And
again,
yes, you do.
I'm going to let you lead the way, because it's, you know, you're tempted when you see all of this to just want to walk out and explore it on your own, but there is an etiquette to this, isn't
there? There really is an etiquette. And best thing to do is just try to shoot for the dry rocks, because even when you're stepping in the water, you may step on a living animal that you can injure.
Wow, look at
Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Now this is low tide.
This is low tide.
So at high tide, would all of this be covered?
Yes, it would be, depending on the height of the tide. Last night I was down here about 6 o'clock and it was completely covered. You couldn't see any of the rocks at all.
This was all covered?
It was all covered.
Wow, but you know what? Looking down the coast there, just even looking at it in a wide angle lens there, you can see that there are rocks all the way down the coast.
Yes,
so there are tide pools everywhere.
Everywhere, all up and down the coastline.
And look at this little situation right here with the water flowing through here. It's just absolutely so beautiful with the seagrass there.
And you've got all kinds of living animals in here. You've got your mussels, your sea urchins, your sea anemones, a number of limpets, barnacles, hundreds of animals just in this one little area where we're standing.
Look!
What do you see? Those are hermit crabs.
They're moving all over the place.
They're feeling very free, and they're probably looking for something to eat right now.
Now, do they know we're standing here looking at them?
Well, they're feeling very comfortable. If we moved quite rapidly, they would completely retract into their shell, but they feel very comfortable, so they're out moving around very freely.
So the idea is when you come to a tidal pool, you just stand quietly.
Absolutely. And you're going to see that tide pool come alive. I don't care if it's a small pool or a large pool. Everything will start to move.
You just got to take your time.
You do. Absolutely.
And
take
see,
your time.
in our busy world, it's so unusual just to go somewhere and stand quietly and look at just an area like this, and then you begin to see it all come alive.
You really do. That's one of the beauties of coming to a tide pool.
Okay, now we have come to the main part of town. This is the heart and the soul. I guess it's okay to call it the heart and soul of Laguna Beach, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's just fabulous.
Your name is?
June Neptune.
Nice. Oh, what a great nautical name.
Right.
Perfect for Laguna.
I know everybody teases me about it.
Now, you're meeting us here right by this, and this is one of the most historic structures in town, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's from day one, when all the lifeguards came here.
Established 1929.
Yes.
So I know that early on, Laguna Beach was an artist colony, was a center for artists. We went to the Art Museum earlier today.
Yes.
But it was also kind of from the very early days, a real Southern California beach town.
Exactly. They came down with their tents and they just came down and just hung out on the beach. Everybody was little beach rats.
Now, why here? Why did they come here? They could have gone anywhere up and down the coast.
Oh, because it's so beautiful. It's the Riviera of our little place.
And why does it look like the Riviera?
Because I think of the hillsides and just everything, the colonies, the little coves. It's beautiful.
Lots of hidden surprises here.
Right, exactly. It's unique.
A man and his dog. Is this a Laguna Beach dog?
Yes, it is.
Now, what makes a Laguna Beach dog different from other dogs? Does he have an appreciation of...
You know, in California, oftentimes you are what you drive. In Laguna, you are what you walk. This is one of the most predominant areas for dog walking in Southern California is right here. So when you come on a Saturday or a Sunday and you look at what's going on,
kind of a little parade going on here.
It is what, oh yeah, it is what you're walking.
You got that local look.
I am a local, that's for sure.
Now, Laguna, what do you call yourselves? Lagunians?
I'm kind of a Lagunatic, I guess you could say that.
Lagunatic.
That's what I've been called worse, but yeah.
And this is your...
This is my little girl, Isabel.
Ah, how are you doing, Isabel?
Good.
Well, you're used to this, aren't you?
Yeah.
She's doing her homework today on the beach.
Look at this. She's got her homework out here.
On the beach.
On the beach. Now, how many kids in America would give anything to be able to do their homework on a beach like this?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, you know how lucky you are, don't you?
Yeah.
And people who live in Laguna know how special this place is as well, don't they?
And we especially wait for this time of year. Not that, you know, we love everyone that comes to visit, but we get our town back, you know?
Yeah.
We get our town
summer
back.
vacation is over.
And look at the water. It's just amazing today.
Yeah.
You know? It's amazing.
Well, I promise we won't tell anybody.
All right. Okay.
It'll just be among the three of us.
But she got the homework done, though. That's the important thing.
The sun is glistening off the waves here on Laguna Beach, Main Beach. I've hooked up with an honest-to-goodness Laguna Beach lifeguard. And Casey, you gotta know that most young men and women in Laguna probably grow up dreaming of being a lifeguard, right?
It's definitely a great job. We enjoy being down here and we really take it seriously.
Yeah, but is it something that's kind of in your blood if you're born and raised here?
I think there's a lot of people that it is, yeah. A lot of people, they grew up at the beach. They go to the beach every day as kids and they see us down here on the beaches, and a lot of the kids that come through here, that's what they say. They've always wanted to be lifeguards. Laguna gets a lot of visitors. This summer alone, we had over 4 million people come to the beaches down here.
Wait a minute. 4 million people on the Laguna beaches alone?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, right now summer's over, so it's pretty barren down here. But during the summertime, I mean, it's nothing but umbrellas and people down here.
And how did Main Beach get to be such a popular beach? It's a beautiful beach, but it's just another beach, isn't it?
Well, Main Beach really is. This corresponds to the center of town. You know, this lifeguard tower here is kind of it's a landmark feature, and this is really about the center of town here in Main Beach.
This lifeguard tower really has been here since the 1920s.
It's been here for a long time. Yep.
So that tower's an operating tower.
It's an operating facility.
Can we go inside that tower?
Absolutely.
Oh wow, let's go inside.
All right.
Ha! I didn't know you could. We're going to be able to stand on the balcony?
Yep.
Oh wow. We're climbing up the stairs inside the lifeguard tower. And the first thing you notice when you come in here are these binoculars.
Yeah, these help us to be able to scan the water in this whole stretch. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happens out here, and we get a lot of rescues up and down this coast.
Look at the size of these binoculars.
Yeah, it really does help with being able to see what's going on in the not only in the beaches down there, but when you have stuff that's going on way outside, like boats and stuff in distress, we can get a good visual of what's going on.
You got a nice tent on the windows in here, so you don't have any glare. You got the telephones here. You got your computer over here.
This is a modern facility.
Wonder what it was like back in the 1920s when it was built. It was probably just a tower, wasn't it?
It was. It was obviously didn't have all this nice facilities we have nowadays.
Yeah.
But we definitely put all this stuff to use when we're doing our training stuff through here, and also just for observations. I mean, we have over 4,000 rescues in a summer down here in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
So we definitely need all this stuff for what we do.
It looks so peaceful out there.
Yeah, well, it can be deceiving. Today is, I mean, it's the ocean is the neat thing about being a lifeguard, and one of the things that keeps it interesting is the ocean is constantly changing. So on some days you'll have it, it'll look like a lake, and other days it's huge, and it's definitely can be some very hazardous
conditions.
conditions.
Change quickly, can't it?
Really quickly, yeah.
Boy, this really shows it all here. Look at this. Now, you know, earlier today, Casey, somebody told us that some of the early visitors to Laguna kind of compared this to the south of France or to the South Seas. It has its own feeling to it, doesn't it?
It definitely has its charms, yeah. It's a beauty. I mean, these beaches are some of the most beautiful I've ever seen, and it's great being able to work here in these kind of conditions.
How many years you been doing this?
This is my 13th summer.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You've been doing this 13 summers in a row.
Yeah, actually I work full time, so I work all year round now.
So in the early years, you worked your life around this every summer.
Yeah, in the summer times, you know, in between going to college and, you know, and other jobs and stuff like that, you know, you make it happen. But it's definitely a great job, and you keep coming back to it.
Well, I got to tell you, it's fun just standing up here looking out like this. Look, you really get a great view looking down the beach, looking south. We got our volleyball players over here. You got the Laguna Hotel Laguna off in the distance, that big old white building there, and then you're looking, boy, you really have a great vantage point here, don't you?
It's a great vantage point, and being up high like this really helps us for spotting rescues and stuff like that, because it just gives us a nice view for being able to see people out in the water.
Well, that's it, the end of a perfect day in this beautiful place, this beautiful beach, Laguna Beach. Look at this. I hate to leave all of this and go back into the city, but of course the great thing about it is, for those of us who live here in California, Laguna Beach is here year-round for all of us to visit and enjoy. Of course, we've just been here for a day, so we've just scraped the surface. There's still a lot to see and do here that we haven't uncovered yet. But we have discovered that there's a lot more to Laguna Beach than just Main Beach. As beautiful as it is, we have discovered those hidden beaches and coves, the tide pools, the backcountry with all of its trails that you can hike and enjoy, the rich art history, the art connection that goes way back here in Laguna. We've seen a lot, we've learned a lot, we've met a lot of nice people, and we have truly discovered that Laguna Beach is very much a part of California's goal.
Discover the center of Southern California fun, Anaheim and Orange County. For up-to-the-minute insider getaway tips, go to AnaheimOC.org. It's so California.
Warm sunshine, swaying palm trees, and breathtaking ocean views make Orange County the OC, a relaxing vacation destination that is always in season. 42 miles of inviting beaches are right next door to world-class shopping and internationally renowned art festivals. Close by are championship golf courses and two of California's famous attractions, the Disneyland Resort and Knott's Berry Farm. Log on to visittheoc.com today. Learn why in the OC, it's forever summer.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed our adventure in Laguna Beach. What a beautiful place to visit. Now, if you'd like to see this particular adventure again, or share it with family or friends, of course it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.